What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this, guys. Once again, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. Hey, guys, just a little announcement here, man. Look, I want to thank everybody here. You know, about 8 months ago or so, I started a YouTube channel. Didn't know how it was going to turn out. Didn't have big expectations for it. And look, man, this weekend I crossed over 1,000 subscribers. We've grown this community to be over 1,000 members. Hey, man, it's exciting stuff, guys. I just want to take some time to thank everyone here who subscribed. If you're new to the channel, guys, hey, don't hesitate to drop a comment. I'm pretty good about responding back. And if you don't hear from me for a couple days, guys, just hit me back like, hey, what happened? It probably slipped you into like the spam folder or something that comes up on YouTube, guys. So just let me know if I don't respond to you. All right, y'all. Today's topic. Hey, guys, look. There's a guy out there that is a Penn State product. He's very popular amongst the fan base. And I went back and I watched this film, and I got to tell you, the kid's fast, man. His speed shows up on film. There are some positives I saw about this kid. There are a few question marks I have about this young man. But today's topic, guys, I'm going to talk about KJ Hamler, guys. So buckle up, man. Let's talk about KJ Hamler, y'all. All right, let's jump into today's topic. Hamler's lined up tight to the formation as a Z, running a little slant route. When I watch film of KJ Hamler, guys, and I took the opportunity to watch 3 separate games. I watched the Penn State game and Ohio State game from 2018. I watched the Michigan game from this past year in 2019, and I watched the Minnesota game from this past year in 2019. So I got an opportunity to really pay attention closely to 3 separate games and see how, they were using him. And the one thing that stood out to me is that the way Penn State liked to use KJ Hamler, it was pretty obvious from the positional alignment as a wide receiver. Generally speaking, they love to use him on the field side, so the field side being the greatest distance between where the center's aligned and where the out of bounds area is. Okay, that's your field side. So they love to play him to the field side, inside in the slot as a wide receiver. This particular formation you see that's laid out in front of you guys, this is Hamler aligned. This is basically Penn State's coming out in a spread here, so they're going. It looks like empty back set, 5 receivers. They got Hamler aligned to the field side as that middle slot guy. And this is a common theme you would see with Hamler. He's generally speaking to the field side. He's a slot. He's a Y guy. He played primarily out of the slot. I'd say, without really tracking everything, just judging from what I'm seeing, 85% or so of the snaps look like to me that he played in the slot. Now, I will say on a handful of snaps, they would utilize him on the boundary side. Okay, so they would put him towards the boundary side in the slot. Okay, but it was far less common to be on the boundary slide as the slot compared to the field side as the slot. Once in a great while, guys, and I showed you the very first clip I showed you of KJ Hamler was him aligned as a Z receiver. But once in a great while, you'd see them use Hamler outside, okay? So once in a great while, they would align him as either an X or a Z. Generally speaking, a Z, he's aligned as a flanker, not so much as the split end. But most of the time, if they aligned him like that, guys, he was being used as a decoy. It was a way of drawing the defense's attention to pay attention to it, and then they either hit him with a little RPO action or something like that. It was just a diversion, basically. That's the way, generally speaking, Penn State aligned KJ Hamler.
McSorley from the goal line, slant, and there's Hamler, the speedy freshman.
When I watched the film of KJ Hamler and I was really analyzing his route running, what stood out to me was this kid he's very fast at the release. So his first 3 steps or so, very quick, just boom, boom, boom. I love the way that he releases coming off the line of scrimmage, guys. With that said, as impressive as his release is, I think what really makes KJ Hamler really special, it's that combination of agility, that a combination of speed, and you can really see that play out at that point of the top of the stem, right where he's about to break. So right where he's about to make a cut. Guys, I slowed this clip down by 85%. Watch how his head's looking one way, and then his whole body shoots. There are other receivers who really fool you with their eyes. They fool you with their body. Don't get me wrong, KJ Hamler does that too. But KJ Hamler is just pure agility as well, guys. It's just he doesn't he doesn't have to sell you as much with his eyes and his head movement. It's just much as he can move his body in ways you can't move yours. So he really gets to the top of that stem and just explodes out of the top of the stem. And it's on things like slant routes, little crossing routes, anything that's basically working across the middle of the field, guys. He is incredibly, incredibly difficult to play because, to my surprise, guys, I mean, the kid was really good working across the middle of the football field.
By the young quarterback.
That one a 10-yard gain. 10 minutes to go in the half. Long throw. Hamler.
It's not that he's making contested catches across the middle. That's not what I'm saying, guys. It's that he can work through traffic, get to a spot inside of the zone, or just completely beat his man in a man situation or a press situation to the point that he works his way across that traffic, is blowing by everybody, and looks wide open on film. Sometimes it's almost frustrating to watch how long it takes the quarterbacks to realize, holy crap, this kid got 3 or 4 steps on his guy, and they almost hang him out to the dry by floating the ball a little too long. But, man, Hamler's ability to get off that line of scrimmage, guys, explode through his top of his route stem, and work his way across traffic in the middle of the field, he's up there, guys. I got to tell you, man, he's up there with the top prospects in that regard. Like, I hate to say it, guys, but there's a little Nelson Aguilar to him. I thought where Aguilar, and don't shoot me here, guys, I'm just a messenger. I thought where Aguilar was special, if you want to talk about where Aguilar's talent was, it was working across the middle of that field on like the slants and playing inside. That's where I see Hamler as well. Hamler really does have that ability. I mean, it's exceptional to see this on film. Field side, as the flanker receiver, he absolutely kills that cornerback with that slant route. My final thoughts on KJ Hamler, guys, is this. This is a prospect I would have loved to have had the opportunity to see work more vertical routes, right? Your seams, your post, just deeper routes, guys. Working the fly and the fade. Like, there wasn't a lot of opportunities to really see him work those routes. Although the kid's explosiveness and ability just to take a slant kind of gives you an idea of what he could do. However, I didn't get enough of an opportunity really to judge just how good can he track the football in the air, guys. That's what I'm concerned about. Is when you talk about KJ Hamler, we went through this with Nelson Aguilar. When you played Nelson Aguilar in his role correctly, he was an explosive football player. But the minute he had to step up into a bigger role and had to be utilized into the entirety of the route tree, that's where he ran into problems with a guy like Nelson Aguilar. Would we experience this same exact issue when it comes to a guy like KJ Hamler? Because we didn't get an opportunity really for those 3 games to see him utilized very often on vertical routes. There were a few. I got a chance to see a couple of them, but just not enough to really make a definitive statement here, guys. I need to see more in that regards. One thing I will knock him for, guys, is he is a bit of a body catcher. He doesn't really snag the ball outside and just kind of use them strong hands to get the ball and bring it back to his body. He can let the ball get into his body, which can cause him to have some drops on film, guys. And he's a bit of a strange guy when it comes to judging his catch radius. He's not a guy who's going to go elevate and go grab the ball. I mean, guys, this isn't Jalen Reagor, okay? This certainly is not Denzel Mims. This certainly is not T. Higgins. This isn't that caliber of player. This is not a big catch radius guy. But he had a couple of things on film where I was like, okay, all right, I see you. Going down low. He gets down low. He's a lot better at snagging some balls down low than he is up high. That's kind of where, smaller guy, smaller stature, you get the ball low to him, he can go get it for you.
His throw was a little bit underthrown. And what a job by Hamler maintaining it.
So, I mean, they're kind of difficult to judge that there. And then the final thoughts I would probably share on this young man about, like, what I'm thinking right now, guys, is what do we think about him? Immediately great fit, right? Because he can play the slot. You got D-Jax out there playing the flanker. if you think J.J. Arcega-Whiteside can be your guy, or you go get a guy in the first round maybe, because I don't think Hamler's going in the first round. If you go get a guy in the first round like a T. Higgins or Denzel Mims, or basically any of these traditional X's, or even later in the draft, if you go get a Michael Pittman Jr. or somebody to play your X, like you could throw one of those guys, so he gives you that immediate fit. But my question is, Deshaun Jackson will be 34 by the season's end. I doubt you're bringing him back on his 35th year, guys. It doesn't seem likely. So in the future, is this a guy that we feel comfortable with could eventually be a flanker receiver for us? He's got the speed. He's got that element to it, guys. But do we know enough about him to trust him with a full route tree? Can he develop a little more in his catch radius, guys, because he can't keep letting this ball get into his body? And can he get vertical? We really won't know that until we get him here, probably. These are my thoughts, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, man, I like the kid. He's got me intrigued. I mean, I do think that I think I would go Ruggs first, guys. Ruggs is the most explosive player in this draft. But if you can't get Ruggs, my next guy is my favorite guy, which is Rhaegar. I think Rhaegar is your next choice. But, I feel like if you can't get Ruggs, you can't get Rhaegar. You miss out on a guy like Mims. You miss out on a T. Higgins. I think you better, you better hit on one of these guys, a Justin Jefferson. If you miss out on all those guys, you better go get yourself a kid like this, man. You better go get you a Hamler, because Hamler and Duvernay, to me, are like kind of the last of the big play threat guys. Although I think Pittman might be able to make an argument there, but they're the last of the big play guys that, going to take a 10-yard slant and take it to the house for you. All right, y'all. Let me know your opinion. I'm out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what time it is. EAGLES. All right, y'all. Let's go Eagles, guys.